Hey, welcome everyone to Life Coach Access, your daily access with professional certified life coaches brought to you by Life Coach Philippines. Life Coach Philippines is our community of professional life coaches certified by the Global Institute for Coaches and Entrepreneurs, a bona fide institute for mental health that is based in Dallas, Texas, USA. Life Coaching Access is our service to our community, and we aim to help individuals experience the process of transformation through the platform of life coaching. If you want to know more about our international coaching classes and services, please connect with Coach Rizal through 0917-586-1661 for further assistance. I am Coach Sean for Inner Game, bringing out the in me. Let's talk about mastering the inner game, and your access with me is every Friday at 10 a.m. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much for joining me last week as well. And for my segment today, I will be sharing to you the heart connection, which is the mental state now, and where our mental state is congruent with the heart. I talk about the inner game and aligning it to the outer game that we have, because the inner game is who our heart really is and what we want to do, and the outer game is how we are taking action and how we are doing things. So this one would help us at least be able to be in a space of clarity and focus towards achieving our aspirations in our life. Especially, we're able to calibrate our mental space specific to the goals that we want to achieve. Please tag your friends in the comment section below. Invite them to join us in the conversation. You may also want to share this FB Live to your timeline and FB groups and pages so that we can reach more people and help transform lives. Thank you very much, everyone, for this wonderful morning. I know it has been a challenging week for most of us, but thank you for still being here. Thank you for still being able to see that life can still be beautiful even at the times of uncertainty and at times difficult times. And it's a wonderful time as well to celebrate what we have and the life that we are still having and will still be able to do something about. Thank you, Coach Candy, for joining us or joining me in today. So let's start. Before I start, I would like to invite everyone for the mental health certification program, which will be held on December 5, 6, and 12. Um, this is going to be a powerful certification class specific to being a mental health provider. This is from the Global Institute for Coaches and Entrepreneur, which is a bona fide institute for mental health. And if you want to be able to if you have the heart and you want to be able to serve other people, serve those people that are especially with mental health conditions, please message Coach Rizal. The number is there, 0917-586-1661. And let's come together and let's join hand in hand for us to support the individuals who we can inspire and also help, be empowered to make the right decisions in their life. Also, there's also one program that Master Coach A is running. It's Path to Self Encounter. It's a 6-week journey to finding your way from understanding your purpose to nurturing your joyful soul. And I think for every one of us, even me, my experience is beautiful if you're really able to have clarity and focus toward what your purpose or where your purpose is, and being in a space of pure utter joy. If you're in a space of utter joy, you just enjoy everything. You have fun doing those things. Like like a little child who just have fun, even though sometimes they're so dirty, they don't look good. They just really are there to enjoy what they're doing and what investing their time in it. And if you want to be in that space where you would want to make 2021 a lot better than 2020, I highly encourage you to join this. It's going to be on December 1st to January 5. So it's going to be a 6-week journey jam packed with a lot of people as well, that you will be interacting with them and journeying with them, so that you can find your way in the process. All right. So Let's be intentional today. Being intentional means getting your hashtag pack your bag moments. And hashtag pack your bag moments are situations where you go into a seminar, you go into a training, and you just find or you found or you discovered an aha moment and you say, okay, that's it. That's a one of the biggest thing that I need for me to realize, for me to learn, or the question that I have been asking for a long time. And that has been a powerful learning, wisdom, knowledge that has been shared to you. So just get one in this talk. Just get one pack your bag moments, and I would encourage you to really post that in your timelines. You can post that in your group or in even in your page as well, so that you can also help other people learn in the process. Because what you learn also when you're posting that in your timeline, people are learning in the process as well, and we put in a something of value in the digital space, especially with a lot of noise right now in social media. I think it's beautiful that we'll be able to put in there something for people to learn. So be intentional. Hashtag back my back moment, and it's really about knowing more of our life and being able to share our value and being a blessing to other people. Okay. Thank you very much, Nords, Master Coach Asmin, and Coach Dinman. My better half is there joining us today. Okay, so let me briefly introduce myself. If this is the first time you're joining me, it's the first time you're seeing me. I am Coach Sean. I'm a professional life coach certified by the Global Institute for Coaches and Entrepreneur. Our institute is a bona fide institute for mental health that is based in Texas, USA. And I'm doing this profession, the life coaching profession, full time since I left the corporate world back in 2019 after 14 years of successful years in my career there. It was a beautiful journey. Every 3 years or less than 3 years, I get promoted there, and it's a wonderful journey and the opportunity that was given to me from my previous company. And I left in there as a director from my previous company, and it's a wonderful journey. And today, I help leaders and entrepreneurs build their own work-life integration. So I help people with work-life integration, especially if you're having a bit of challenge or if you want to improve your work life integration, specifically having more time with your family, being able to enjoy the time with your family mostly. Because as a business leader and an entrepreneur, is challenging at times to be able to enjoy that synergy with our family, because there's really no balance there because your work and your life are intertwined, and most of the time we spend our time at work, and being able to integrate these two would make our life more meaningful and fulfilling. And you would be able to continuously work on your goal that and your aspirations in your personal life, and also your goals in your professional life. Right? So the dimensions of resilience. Last week I talked about the physical aspect of the dimension of resilience, and today we're gonna focus on the mental aspect of the dimensions of resilience. Resilience means being able to bounce back in times of uncertainty and challenges. And tomorrow, next week, and the next couple of weeks, we're gonna talk about spiritual to emotional dimension of resilience. And intertwine in this, when you see all of the intersection of this is where coherence comes in. This is where everything is in synergy, everything is in alignment, and you're able to enjoy every moment of your life. That there's no more, no more thinking about things that's negatively impacting your life and also your relationship with other people. So we're gonna focus on mental today, but last week we talked about flexibility in endurance and strength in the physical space. Today, we're going to talk about clarity, focus, and perspectiving on the mental dimension. So, if we're ready there, thank you. Let's start. Thank you, Coach Maureen, for joining us. And before we start, I would like for you to take a look at this picture and tell me, of course, what you see. And second, who can you remember painted this picture? And this picture was painted back in the 1980s. Yeah, 1880s. This was the fall in 1880s, and the artist painted this during the time without any formal training. It in the way that this painting was done, just to be specific, it's in 1889 that this painting was created. So, are you familiar with this? Is this something that you know? Put in there in the comment section of where you've seen this, if you're familiar with this. And this is a famous painter that has painted this with all of those, you see the sun and the uh, the areas there. And yun, Coach Tin said that it's Starry Night by Vincent Van Gogh. Tama, Coach Tin. It's Starry Night by Vincent Van Gogh. And Vincent Van Gogh, if you don't know, was a post-impressionist painter whose work notable for its beauty, emotion, and color. So if you take a look at that, it's a lot of emotions there. Like it's a lot of found swirls and turns. And it's highly influenced by the 20th century art. And Vincent van Gogh, if you don't know, he struggled with mental illness and remained poor and virtually unknown throughout his life. And it's the only time that when he died, people would really got to know the painting. And in the fall of 1880s, Van Gogh decided to move to Brussels to become an artist. So this is where he started really an artist without really having a formal training. And his brother is the one who offered him formal support to be financially, as financially well. And Van Gogh's art helped him stay emotionally balanced. So what Vincent Van Gogh did is through his artwork that helped him emotionally balance. And Teo, which is the brother, is the one living in Paris who is supporting him in selling all of his painting and perfectionism. And sabi nga, ayun, sabi ni Coach Candy, yes, you started singing. Because I wanted to talk about as well of the song Vincent, which is created or sung by Don McLean. And and this is a song where really, if you think about it, if you can reflect on it, how Vincent Van Gogh's life went in. How Vincent Van Gogh's life was, and eventually to the cause of his death at the latter part. But did you know that Vincent van Gogh didn't really die because he shot himself? Um, During that time, when I was doing the research, he was still able to go home to his house with a gunshot wound near his heart, and eventually he died a few days after. So he didn't die because of the gunshot wound. He shot himself. He died because of the after the following day. But it was a cause, but not really upfront that he was able to do that. And the song, when I was researching this, I came to have this reflection of how the song is. And if you can still remember the song, I'll try to sing it. Okay, Starry, Starry Night. Paint your palettes blue and gray. Look out the summer's day. I can't read it. Let me just do this. With eyes that know the darkness in my soul, shadows on the hill. Sketch the trees and daffodils, catch the breeze and winter chills, and colors on the snowy linen land. Anyway, if you go through it, that is what really the song is, and it talks about the journey of Vincent Van Gogh and eventually the cause of his suffering and his sanity on the latter part. If you go to the latter part, the lyric said, "Now I think I know when you try to say to me, and how you suffered for your sanity, and how you tried to set them free. And they would not listen. They're not listening still. Perhaps they never will." And this is where really the challenge of Vincent Van Gogh and being able to express himself in the journey that he has in his life. But I'm not going to focus on the death of Vincent Van Gogh and his life. I want to focus on the area of his life where he thrived. If you take a look at the story of Vincent Van Gogh, it wasn't a great story. It's a lot of suffering. It's a lot of pain in the process of his journey. But I wanted to put things in a different perspective. Right now, I'm teaching you guys on the mental domain and being able to see things in perspective. I'm gonna teach you three things, which is clarity, focus, and perspectiving. And there are three things or four things that I would share to you on what I've learned as far as the story of Vincent Van Gogh. The first one, Vincent Van Gogh did not, you know, he considered himself as a mediocre artist when he started. But that he thought, what he did is he taught himself to paint every single day. So thinking about it, at times we get to throw in the towel because we feel that we're not progressing in our life. We feel that there's no progress. We feel that we're not moving closer towards our goal. But Vincent Van Gogh just continued doing it. He continued to practice and he continued to perfect his craft even though he's not trained. And what he did is he continually invested in himself, even going to study and really finding ways for him to be better. So that's the first learning that I got from Vincent Van Gogh. Is just do it. Just continue doing what you're doing. And number two is don't be afraid for a failure. Vincent Van Gogh knew that there's no such thing as wrong. There's no such thing as a mistake. There was just opportunities to try it and to see what happened. So he just continued on and painting and painting and painting until his death in when he was 37. And the third is work at it. Van Gogh never stopped working once he had decided to be an artist. He took to himself from mediocre student to a master by sheer dint of effort. So everything that we do, there's effort in it. Um, it's recently that we're starting to create a new business, a new endeavor, and one of the things that I've experienced is the pressure, the stress again, because I needed to learn a lot of things. I needed to know a lot of things, the areas of the business for me to be able to run it, and sometimes it's so stressful that you tend to ask yourself, do you really want to do this? But coming into terms and taking a look at the perspective of the success that I've experienced in the corporate world out of the 14 years, I was reminded that every time I get promoted, it's not a comfortable state. It's not a comfortable state where you need to really work on yourself and work on yourself to improve and be better. And that's what Vincent Van Gogh taught us. It's to continuously keep working and working and working until you got what you wanted. In the end, what happens with him is he produced an average 4 works of art week for a decade. It's just a outstanding effort for him to be able to do that. So just for everyone who's watching, continue working on it. Even though sometimes it's challenging, sometimes there's some tears in there, but that's okay because it's what matters is the process that you are in. It's who you are becoming in the process. And lastly, Vincent Van Gogh taught us that you don't need to wait for inspiration. But Vincent Van Gogh didn't wait for inspiration to strike. What he did is he sat himself down every day and made himself work. He does sketches, he does drawings, painting, and he never stopped. He just continued on. And he said that I am always doing what I cannot do yet in order to learn how to do it. I think that's beautiful. I'm always doing what I cannot do yet in order to learn how to do it. And for those of you who's watching, you might say, Coach, how do you get all of these things? Coming into a perspective of more of the experiences that I have in my life, and I get really that emotional connection, of the mental connection towards how Vincent Van Gogh was going on, doing everything in his mind for him to be able to succeed in his life. And that's a beautiful thing about it. The beautiful thing about the story of Vincent Van Gogh. Even though he had a tragic death, his life, if you put things in perspective, really set the course of making significant impact to other people and being inspired towards what he was doing and how he journeyed on in his lifetime. Even though he didn't have that success in financially, in his painting during his lifetime, afterwards he made a significant impact to the history of painting and also impact to our hearts, especially with the song that was inspired by Vincent that John McLean created. So thank you very much for those of you who's putting in your comments. Maraming salamat. Yes, Nords, Starry Starry Night. Thank you, Coach Orville. Magkakantahan ulit tayo. That is my best rendition of Starry of Vincent. Um, Ayan, my cousin is also watching. Thank you for watching. Coach Sherry, you will be inspired in the journey, the wins in the journey. Yes, tama po yun. Kumanta ba si Coach Shaun De Joya? Yes, kumanta po ako. Just watch the replay after and rate my singing as far as my current um, expertise in singing is concerned. Pero sabi nga ni Vincent Van Gogh, practice makes perfect. So we just need to continue practicing. Okay? So let's move on to the mental domain. At times, in our minds, we get a lot of this confusion because of what's happening in the world right now, and especially in the digital space. Just this morning, Master Coach A posted a add-on in Chrome that allows you to quiet down your news feed. So if you're interested to know more about that add-on, just message there in the comment section if you're interested. There's a lot of coaches there that knows this link. It is a wonderful thing. It's kind of weird taking a look at it, but it's a peaceful way of removing the confusions here and there and putting in the clarity that we need in our life. And that is the first one that I want to talk about, specific to the mental domain and the way that we think and the way that we see things. Because at times, the reason why our resilience is not that high or it's not that good because of a lack of clarity. And clarity is being able to have clear mental picture of how life would look like and how would your goal would look like. And this one gives us the direction that we want to go in our life. Clarity gives us clear direction. Clarity gives us the end result that we want for our career, for our relationship, for our family, for our children, for our spouse, and everything in between. And if we have clarity, this always puts us in a state of, there's no cloud in there. You only see one thing, and you have that intention of moving towards that one thing. And clarity also gives us on how to discover what is ideal specific for our career. Now, why do I put in her career here? Well, for most of the time, I think it's more than half of our life that we in the a day that our attention is in career. We work there sometimes 9 hours, sometimes 10 hours, sometimes 12 hours, and most of the time, if you're a business leader, if you're an entrepreneur, you work there more than 14 hours, and that is something that is true. And being able in a space of there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of clutters, there's a lot of chatters, it doesn't give us the point on where we need to go through. Master Coach A taught us this one. It's called a true north, our true north. And being able to do that gives us the true north on where we're heading. And lastly, clarity allows us to regulate our emotions. Because when we're clear of the kind of relationship that we want to build or we want to create, we don't dwell too much on the people that's not serving us. We don't dwell on the conversations that will not serve us. We focus more on the relationship and the conversations that would move us closer towards the goal that we want to achieve. And this is where really clarity is where it is critical as far as having the mental resilience is concerned. That being able to snap out of those negative situation or negative mindset or negative thinking, which propels us towards our goal. All right. So number two, the mental domain of resilience is also helps us with focus. Focus means refocusing, focusing on which path do we need to take. I taught this. I think it was Wednesday. It was 11th. Oh, it was Wednesday. I thought about being able to focus on the things that's important to you. Focusing means being able to chunk all of your goals to small little goals, so it moves towards your big goal. Because at times there's a lot of mini goals inside your big goals, your big dreams, and we tend to lose sight of where we wanna focus our attention on. And being able to chunk that to small, tiny little pieces helps us towards achieving our goals every single day. And in this segment, I want to speak to you or talk to you about two types of focus. Okay, there are two types of focus. I want you to focus on me for this part. The first type of focus is the top down or voluntary focus. So the top down or voluntary focus, this is the holy grail of focus. It's that pot of gold if you really want to focus. And top down focus is goal oriented. If you're focusing on top down, it's goal oriented. You're very specific on what the goal that you want to achieve. And it means that you are responsible for seeing the bigger picture, and it uses your past experiences to figure out what you need to do now to create a better future. Let me repeat that. Top down focus, it's responsible for seeing the bigger picture and uses your past experience to take action now to create a better future. Think about this when you're studying for an exam, for example, or trying to solve for a difficult problem that you have. When you're doing an exam, your focus is to make sure that you're able to answer the questions and you're able to pass. While in solving the difficult problem is you want to make sure that you're able to overcome it. So that is top down or voluntary focus. Now my question to you is, how often do you utilize this type of focus? How often is it in a day? How often are you intentional doing your top down or voluntary focus? Or is it most of the time, maybe you know someone, what they're mostly doing is bottom up or stimulus driven focus. And what is this? Stimulus driven focus is when a thought creeps in. So a thought creeps in on you, or something around you grabs your attention. Like the Facebook feed. You continue browsing it down and down and down, and eventually there's a stimulus. Maybe it's an ad. Maybe your friend posted something. Maybe you saw a food that you were thinking about, and you suddenly stop there. And if you're doing this, like, if you heard a ping, if you heard a bing, if you heard notifications, maybe your cell phone, your laptop, you're suffering from this bottom up focus, because the way that your focus goes is it's triggered by a stimulus, and you can't help but pay attention towards what's happening. So what's happening in your surrounding. At times, I get with this as well, is when a loud motorcycle passed by our house, and my focus suddenly shifted my attentions there, and at times I get irritated about that because it's really painful in the ear. That is also bottom up, um, stimulus driven focus. All right. So what this happens? Well, when you hear a loud sound, what I said a while ago, someone pops out of the bushes or your phone buzzes. That is a bottom up stimulus. But this is good for a specific of our gadgets that we have to make sure that we wake up in the morning, we manage our times, we manage ourselves to time and what have you. But if we're always taking a look at it and having a lot of these distractions, it's not really helping us focus towards the goal that we want to achieve. All right. So, how's everyone doing so far? Thank you, Master Coach Jasmine. Clarity gives direction. Yes, Nords, mag-reply ka mamaya para marinig mo ako. Hashtag refocus, sabi ni Nords. And top-down focus is very intentional. Tama, Coach Tin. Sabi ni Coach Mao, bottom-up focus, guilty na rin ako dito at times. Yes, I'm not also not exempted. I also experience this at times. And really the point here that I want to share to you is being more intentional about the things that we do, because that is what self leadership is all about. That's what I'm teaching people, is to be intentional on their actions. And it's a process. Like me, I'm undergoing the process still for me to be intentional of the things that we do. And Coach Tin said bottom up is when you act on the focus because it was triggered by something else. Yes. So that is where focus aligns two types. Now, if you are in a situation right now where you're experiencing some challenges with clarity and focus, and you want to be able to level that up, you want to be more focused on the things that you do, the relationship that you have, the business that you have, or the career that you have, I would like to invite you to this coaching program. It's a gaining focus. It's a six-step system to master focus. It's a coaching bundle, but it includes one-on-one coaching. And what this does, it helps you with all of these things. It helps you clarify the big picture, assess the current situation, eliminate the goals, the things that's not serve your goals. You know, it helps you delegate the tasks that you need to do, especially when you're an entrepreneur and a business leader. That's something that you need to do because you want to be able to teach other people as well in your work, right? For them to be able to run the business as well, and you have someone who can succeed you and prioritize what's important to you and plan so you can focus on not getting derailed. And if you have someone who wants to learn more about this program, you can message me. You can contact me through 0917-569-4200 to get to learn more in this program. This is a wonderful journey of really regaining focus and getting back on track on where you want to go. All right. So the third one is perspectiving, the mental domain of resilience. The other one is perspectiving. It said here that when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And for me, this is a powerful thing. You can see the two O's there have black dots in it. Did you ever focus your attention there? Did you ever take a look at, well, why are those two O's um, shaded? You know, and perspectiving allows us to see different sides of our life. You know, at times we get to focus too much on the not so good things that's happening in our life. We focus too much on the negative things that's happening in our life that we forget to see that there's beauty in everything that we do. And that is where the mental domain of being resilient comes in, that you're able to bounce back because you know that there is something in that side. There's something in the different side. We just need to do something about it. And when you're able to do that, you're able to appreciate the good things and the positive things because there's always a flip side and everything. Um, if, a lot of us here in the Philippines have experienced a lot of tropical storms and a lot of those things, and you see a lot of people really being challenged with that, but they're able to really still bounce back. They're able to bounce back towards the challenges that they're experiencing, and that's the beautiful thing about being mentally resilient because you're able to focus on that and you're able to take action, even though at times today anyway things are not working well because tomorrow is another opportunity for us to be better. And lastly, perspectiving find and expect allows us to find and expect good things every day. Like every single day, you see that there is beauty in everything that you look at. Even me taking a look at this this webcam right now, I appreciate things because I'm able to connect with you and you're able also to engage with me. You're able to share to me your thoughts, which is wonderful. Thank you very much for those of you who sharing your thoughts with me. Coach Myrene, thank you very much. When you change the way you look at things, yep, you, seeing the beauty in every situation, regardless of the situation is, and Nord said, appreciate the good and positive things. Yeah, we need to be able to do that. And these are the three things that um, for us to be able to be mentally resilient, we need to start focusing on these three things for us to change the way we see things. You know, the three things for us to change the way we see things. And what can we do? I've shared to you these three mental domains, the mental domains of resilience. And how can we start doing it? How can we start changing it? Well, I'll share to you three mental exercises you can do to be coherent or to be in coherence with the mind and also to the heart. Because being incoherent means that there is no internal turmoil of what your heart is desiring and what your mind is trying to protect you with. Um, I've realized in my journey that most often than not, when I was growing up and during in the corporate world, before I became a life coach, most of the thing, most of what I use is my mind, my intelligent mind. And unfortunately, when we often use our mind, the heart starts to harden because we always try to look for something that would be able to put an explanation towards what's happening in our life. And I always believe that for me to be able to do something, I need to understand things. I need to come into an understanding, and I would need to be able. I need to be able to explain it. And when I was reflecting on that, I realized that the reason why I wanted that is I want to be able to be the intelligent person that I can explain everything, that I am know it all. Only to realize eventually when I got certified as a life coach that I don't know it all. That even me myself, I needed to journey to understand who am I, what I stand for, what my values are, what my beliefs are, and all those things that limits me from being the person that I know I am or I know I can. And that one really made a significant impact to how I see my life and how I see things, that at the end of the day, and coach master coach A teaches this and it's also in the Bible, we need to come into a space of renewing our mind, because when we renew our mind, we're able to see things from the heart. We're able to appreciate all of the things that's happening in our life, and that's a beautiful thing. And here I'm going to share to you three things that I have been doing for the last 2 years of being a professional, of being a life coach. And I hope I'm able to share to you. This is our basic things. Um, Maybe for you, you've been doing this already, but unintentional. And maybe this is something that you would want to put more attention on. Um, First exercise is just write down three things you are grateful for. I started with a journal. Well, this is not the journal now. I have a journal before, and I've started doing that. I think it was last year. I just started writing down three things that I'm grateful for. Either I write them down in the morning or I do that in the evening. Really depends. And this one, eventually, when I got used to it and it became a habit, I didn't need to write it down because it's already, you know, in my mind. It's already a habit of something that I do. At times when things are not working out for me, I give myself some time and pause and take a look at or think about three things that I'm grateful for, which changes the way of how the synergy between my heart and my mind is. There's synergy, there's coherence, there's synchronicity with them, because I cannot fear and be grateful at the same time. Second is practice mindfulness every single day. Like every single day, you practice that. You be mindful about all the things that you do, the relationship that you have, the conversations that you have. And this one really helps towards being intentional of how we respond and what we allow towards our thoughts and our mind. And lastly, start acting as if. What does this mean? Start acting as if it's already happening. Like if you want to be a businessman, then act like a businessman. If you want to be a full-time certified life coach, then act like a full-time certified life coach. If you want to be promoted on a higher role, then act like you are in this position. Or if you want to have a better relationship with your spouse, with your children, then start acting like it. And those are the things that I've realized that eventually, if you're able to master that, you're able to do that every single day, and you're able to create a habit out of it, it's just a wonderful journey. It's just a wonderful experience. Will you say, Coach, will this be perfect? Um, there's no such thing as perfect. I mean, we can work for perfection. We can strive for perfection. But that's the beauty of it. When you journey, you'll be able to understand more about who you are. It's much faster than not doing anything, because you're intentional towards what you're thinking and what you're doing. And it just gives you the congruency and the synchronicity between what your heart is telling you. And your heart knows what it wants, but the mind protects it. But when the heart is pure and it allows the renewing of the mind, that is just where beautiful changes happen. And you would have the focus that you need, the clarity that you want, and the perspective of life that's meaningful, joyful, and fulfilling at the same time. Vincent van Gogh said that if you hear a voice within you say you cannot paint, then by all means paint. And that voice will be silenced. This one made a significant impact when I was reading it. I was doing this presentation materials. But at the end of the day, it's not for me. It's not really the literally you're painting. I had this talk before with the Global Institute for Coaches and Entrepreneurs, and I talk about painting a picture. What is the price that you need to pay and the price that you will get? And painting a picture means being able to paint the goal or the dream that you want like it's happening already. You would be able to smell it, you would be able to taste it, you would be able to see it, you would be able to feel it. And when you're consistently doing that, you're putting that in your mind. You put painting it in your mind that that will happen, and that can be a reality. That you never allow the negativity, other people's perspective, other people's feedback about you not being able to achieve that. It just creates a space where you will continue to remain focused. You will continue to remain, you know, committed towards achieving that goal. Because no one will achieve the goal for us. It's us. It's what's instilled to us. It's the mission that was given to us. It's the purpose that was given to us. And if your goal is not materializing, who will do it for us, right? And we need to start taking action and start taking a look at how we can utilize our time today to be of value, to be of service to other people. And that is where being intentional is all about. And the heart connection, when we're able to connect that to the mind, it just creates a totally different world for us because our heart is pure and our heart always wants to help other people and serve other people. But of course, it always starts with us. It starts with our journey because we cannot give what we don't have. And for us to be able to create a better life for ourselves, for our children's children, we need to come to a space of seeing life in a different perspective. Thank you very much for joining me. If you need support, you need help. If you want to be intentional with all of the things that you say, you do, and you feel, let's get connected. You can email me at there, my email address and my contact number 0917-569-4200. Let's partner together. Let's take a look at how I can help you, how I can serve you. Thank you very much for everyone who's put in their notes. I appreciate that. I know a lot of people who will be watching this on a replay would be able to appreciate your commentaries as well. Thank you, Coach Cherry. Yes, let's be intentional. And as we end today's episode, let me invite you to visit our coaching hub. It's at Decap Copy Republic, located at Pioneer Center compound along Pioneer Road, corner Brixton and United Streets, Capitolio, Pasig City. It's just across Bayanihan Center. It's a beautiful place. It's a wonderful place. Well, you can just see people there smiling. And even when you're tired throughout the day and you just want to be able to replenish that energy, I really encourage you to go there. Try it out. Wala namang mawawala if you try it out. You get coffee there, you get cakes, you get vegan food, and you get to meet beautiful people there that would just really help you, you know, uplift yourself. If you're not that talking type, it's fine. Just go there. Just feel the place. Feel the energy there. It's a wonderful thing. Our coaching hub is open physically from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So Decap Copy Republic is our coaching hub. But we have virtual operations which open 24 by 7. And we offer coaching services on demand any time of the day, any day of the week. You can just contact Coach Rizal. She's the operations manager there through 0917-586-1661 for your coaching needs. And thank you so much for joining me. Thank you very much for today. Thank you for those who joined me right now. I'll see you next week for the same time and same day. Thank you all. La bam boom. La bam boom. See you. Have a great day. Bye bye.